Glad to have you join us on this edition of the show. Digital assets are gaining momentum on a daily basis, but what do they really mean? And how will they affect developing economies such as ours? My guest on the show will be sharing more insight, so look out for that. We've got this interview and much more coming up on the show. I am Chukwemeka Agbata. Welcome to Tech Trends.
Cybersecurity is a dynamic space. The user faces different challenges every year because there are always new applications and data.
Open the gate.
When Onyeka Onwuka walks into his compound, he has no need for a gatekeeper to control the gate or anyone to let him into his home.
I can unlock my door with my fingerprints.
All he needs is a voice command, smartphone or fingerprint, and then he can access all of these wherever he is, anywhere in the world.
Let there be light.
The Nigerian techie felt a need to help people cut down electricity bills and save consumption.
Over time, we've seen people leave their home and then come back and complain that their electricity bill is piling up, forgetting to turn off their devices. And they feel that it's only when they are at home that their electricity bills will be reading. So many people forget to turn off their ACs. They forget to turn off their water heaters, they forget to turn off their electrical appliances. So I started looking for a way to help people cut down the cost of electricity.
To solve this problem, Onyeka came up with a comfortable solution through an automation systematic app. By connecting their devices to the OVO Smart app and the internet, users can control them all without moving an inch. And Onyeka tells us how he does it.
With OVO Smart app, you can see when your electrical appliances is on. You can turn it off from anywhere you are in the world. If you have an impromptu guest, you can use your OVO Smart app to unlock your gates for your guest. You can use your OVO Smart app to unlock your door for the person. You can use your OVO Smart app to turn on and off all your electrical appliances from anywhere you are in the world. And with that, it helps you to save costs of electricity bills because you get to turn it off at every given time with your phone. Once you see that any appliances is on, you can turn it off from anywhere you are in the world with your phone. So it helps ease people's lifestyle as well. So from our app, the OVO Smart app, once you open it, you see the devices that are connected. You go to My Gates, and you can see from here that it's showing your gate is open, and from here, the gate is open. So we can lock it from here. So I've locked the gate. You can see the gates closing, and a notification will pop out to tell you that the gate is being locked. So anywhere you are in the world, you get to receive the notification. And once the gate is fully locked, you will see a green sign here with the gates being closed. So right now the gate is being closed, and that is why we are seeing a green sign that the gate is locked.
Smart home technology, often referred to as home automation, helps to improve efficiency, accommodate user preference, and provide peace of mind to homeowners. In Africa, there exists a significant digital infrastructure and skills gap among the youths, a gap that experts believe, if closed or reduced drastically, will contribute majorly to the development of the continent, Nigeria inclusive. Which is why there has been ongoing advocacy to encourage the youths to embrace innovation and digital technology so that development can be spread evenly across the country. To make the best out of the digital opportunities available, young individuals are put to task at the Innovation Growth Hub's Startup Weekend, ABBA, to solve a problem affecting their community over a 54-hour period. A combination of 125 developers, entrepreneurs, designers, and students all team up, pitching a total of 26 ideas.
My name is Jasu Carlo, and I am 11 years old. I'm also a WordPress developer. Why I learned web designing is because it's my passion and also my future career.
That's, pretty much my little...
The teams are given business model, pitching, and other business building nuggets to help push them to the next stage.
It came from these pain points that core members have, that when you're deployed from the camp to your local government or service, what happens is that most of the time you're stranded. So we looked at a lot of problems that core members face, and our main aim is to solve problem of getting accommodation easily, removing stress and difficulty. But mainly what happens with core members is that they usually don't have the whole money. So we are looking at a solution we're looking at the problem of renting a home when you don't have the entire money.
After listening to the innovative ideas, the judges are faced with the task of selecting the top 3 ideas.
I had no idea what I was going to meet here when I got invited, and it's just interesting to see a thriving tech startup ecosystem here. And I've listened to quite some amazing pitches, and I'm very confident that the future is bright in Nigeria with the young, talented minds that are going ahead to solve a lot of the tough challenges out of Nigeria. And I really just want to encourage people who are on this entrepreneurial journey to not give up and to keep pushing their businesses.
Daniel Chinagozi, co-founder of Innovation Growth Hub, speaks more on the vision behind the initiative.
This event has become a very strong platform we use in growing tech entrepreneurship in our communities. It's a 54-hour event where entrepreneurs, developers, designers, researchers and students gather and pitch their ideas and use the same ideas to build teams, because these teams after votes and mentors come work with these people and will provide them with tools and support, and within this event they build amazing solutions.
Nigeria is blessed with a large number of young people working hard to build solutions to the nation's everyday problems. But it is imperative that the government and other relevant stakeholders look inwards to harness these young minds and the opportunities they present for national prosperity. When dusk blankets Nairobi, tiny tongues of flame lick blackened cooking pots in poorer areas like Mukuru, Kwa, and Jenga as dinners simmer over charcoal fires. Charcoal is a major polluter and driver of deforestation, but a new company in Kenya may have a solution. M-Gas is breaking into the low-income market for cleaning cooking fuels using gas tanks fitted with tamper-proof smart valves that allow customers to pay for gas in small increments. Customers say the gas is cleaner, cheaper, and more convenient than traditional fuels like wood or kerosene. The potential market is huge, around 3 billion people globally use dirty fuel for cooking, contributing to air pollution that causes an estimated 4 million premature deaths each year. Using charcoal or wood also drives severe deforestation. Dirty cooking fuels generate about as much greenhouse gases as the aviation industry, about 2% of the global total, according to the World Bank. For many years, there was little alternative, but the recent explosion of mobile money, more affordable technology to build smart meters, and urbanization have combined to make pay-as-you-go gas competitive.
This innovation is very important because it's reducing deforestation around cities in Africa, also improving the health of people cooking with biomass, like mostly women and children, and then how households can afford these fuels and are accessible to them.
Their company in Tanzania, Copper Gas, has 1,500 customers using the pay-as-you-go meters there. They hope expanding into Kenya, and the new investment will help them scale up rapidly. Nairobi resident Gentrin Shazia said using M-Gas had cut her cooking fuel bill in half.
It doesn't cost me as much as when I used kerosene or charcoal. Mostly, I use the stove, and even if I bought 5 liters of kerosene, it would only last me for 1 week, and it would cost me money. So now, I spend half of what I used in a day, and it is enough for me with M-Gas.
The smart meters on the M-Gas tanks mean customers can make small payments, even meal by meal, on their mobile phones. It also alerts the company when the gas is about to run out. A new tank is delivered free of charge.
The market is massive, so we really want to grow this at scale. We are only here because we want to have a huge impact at scale. So let's see how we go, but if I were a dreamer, and I'm a bit of a dreamer, in a couple of years, some million households in Kenya, some million households in Tanzania, and let's see from where we go from there.
M-Gas installs the stove, 13-kilogram gas cylinder, and meters collectively in customers' homes for free. Buying the same size tanks outright is too expensive for many families. The cost of the stove, meters, and delivery is paid through a small premium on the overall price of the gas, so there's no upfront cost. A teen science prodigy in Mexico is working on an application that could revolutionize sign language and communication with the hearing impaired. 17-year-old Estrella Salazar is from a working-class neighborhood near Mexico City. Salazar has started developing an application to connect its speakers with hearing users, allowing people to shift from Mexican Sign Language to text or voice and vice versa. Estrella's endeavor was inspired by her older sister Pella, who was born with a rare disorder that affects mobility and hearing called MERRF syndrome. She underwent close to a dozen surgeries, followed by years of physical therapy.
The interest arose from my 25-year-old sister, who suffers from deep and severe hearing loss. I was inspired by the discrimination towards her, the looks and comments from classmates, neighbors, teachers, and relatives. That is what inspired me to ask, what am I doing to help my sister?
Salazar formed a community of nearly 90 participants, including native speakers and interpreters, to develop the app called Hands with Voice. Last year, she was one of 60 young adults chosen to attend the International Air and Space Program, a 5-day camp run by a NASA contractor in Huntsville, Alabama, home to the Marshall Space Flight Center.
It's about time we change our way of thinking. It's time to rewire people and create a culture where, in the future, there will be lots of children working in scientific and technological projects like some already are.
To cover the cost of the camp, Salazar launched the crowdfunding campaign. With weeks left to reach her goal, she says she's 75% there. Salazar plans to put her biotechnology engineering major to work on a simulated aerospace mission proposal.
Coming up is my chat with Olumiwa Dada, CEO, Cherry Brooks Media. Stay with us.
One of the most recent developments driving a lot of interest in marketing and creative communication is the prominence of digital assets. By definition, a digital asset is any electronic file or data owned by an enterprise or individual and used as currency to make transactions or as a way of storing intangible content such as computerized artworks, video, or contract documents. Many people have considered digital assets to only include photos and videos, but over time, they've been known to include documents, presentations, and even spreadsheets. While the definition of a digital asset is constantly changing as new digital formats emerge, it's important to know that a crucial part of the digital asset definition is derived from the value the asset brings to the company. Olumiwa Dada, CEO of Cherry Brooks Media, shares more insight on how to leverage digital assets.
Olumiwa, glad to have you on Tech Trends today.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you, CFA.
All right. Let's look at digital assets. Would you start by describing what they are?
Well, digital assets are now the new paradigm in wealth creation and wealth preservation, if you will. Digital assets have become a new way of not just keeping your money, but also making and growing your wealth.
Maybe you should also describe what types of digital assets are available today.
The most interesting and probably the newest kid on the block will be the NFT. That's the non-fungible token that gives you unique right to a digital asset. So you probably have painting, music, write-up, in digital format. You have a unique identifier that makes that property yours, and you could sell it. And depending on the value of the item at the time or how well it is appreciated, it could grow so rapidly. And it's an interesting thing. I got drawn to NFT not too long ago, and it's interesting to see how you can grow an asset of quote unquote intangible value within weeks into something so valuable. Also, of course, the popular one that people have been used to now for quite a while is the crypto, crypto assets, where people buy, keep, or buy, they hold, and then, of course, over a period of time, it grows in assets. So you see a lot of people getting into this now, trying to play catch up. But I tell you, we've not even started scratching the surface.
It's interesting. You say that digital assets are here to stay, but in Nigeria, it is somewhat restricted. What is your opinion?
Well, it's restricted for now, but it won't be restricted forever. That is for sure, because these assets are here to stay. No matter what anybody says, no matter your opinion, if you recollect very well, I was around at the beginning of the .com boom, when the internet was just coming up, and we were hearing a lot of things against the internet at the time. I was just fascinated. I was I was a teenager. I was very fascinated at the technology and being able to send a mail and all those things were very fascinating to me. These were the days of AOL, when you had to dial and that funny sound comes up. So all those were exciting, and a lot of people were saying this will not last. But today, there's practically nothing you want to do that you don't have to get online to get it done. And that is the way, blockchain is going to turn out in another 10, 15 years from now. So yeah, I understand governments are trying to control these things. They're trying to really know what is going on. But the truth of the matter is that a lot of them don't even understand it. They don't know anything about it. It's not within their sphere of knowledge, and therefore they want to have control. Okay.
For those who are watching this show now and they are thinking, okay, how do I get started? I mean, what is the starting point for anyone who wants to, be part of this whole digital asset movement?
Knowledge. Get to know about it. It's very important. Because of the nature of it, it's a bit scammy in Nigeria right now. There's a lot of scams going on around digital assets, and that is largely because people are ignorant. Scam only thrives where you have ignorance. So people need to get knowledge. Go online, read about it, buy books, go on YouTube, watch videos that's really, not selling anything, but trying to give you information and knowledge about this. It's very key. Before you put your hard-earned money into digital asset, make sure you have adequate knowledge. That's the place to start.
All right. And in terms of security, I mean, I know you mentioned it a bit, but like if you eventually get into digital assets, how do you ensure that nothing happens to these assets?
If there is anything that is secure, I tell you, it's going to be the digital asset sphere. I mean, if you are not knowledgeable in the use of the tools, someone could get in somewhere, within the chain, and get involved with your properties or assets and all of that, and do things with them. But if you're very good, and these are not very difficult things. I mean, all you need to do is, put up some, security stuff, ensure this is in place, ensure that is in place. And if you do all of that, the system itself is almost impregnable. It's almost impossible for people to hack. So in terms of security, it's probably more secure than any other form of asset that you have out there.
Okay, so generally, how do you think that we're doing in terms of local innovation around the digital asset space?
For the youths, I'm telling you, Nigeria is way high up there right now. In terms of the use, in terms of creativity and innovation, Nigerians are doing very well.
So, and if you were to based on this, if you were to advise the government, from the stance of today, what would you say?
We could create a whole economy around digital assets and, everything involved, the whole gamut, So I would advise governments to reach out to people who know about this. If they don't, or they go after knowledge, they should be able to know the fundamentals and how does this impact on the economy. This is very key. This is very crucial, because there's something huge there. And the interesting thing is that right now, Nigeria is ranked really high in this field because our youth have plugged into this. There is no other way. There's no easier way for them to have access to wealth.
All right. So finally, Olumiwa, if I decide to go ahead to join this whole fray, is there anything I should be worried about whatsoever when it comes to digital assets?
First thing you need to do, if you're interested and you want to get into this fray, is to first acquire sufficient knowledge, and within a week or less, you can catch up with some of these things. It's not so difficult, but it is required that you get to know about this, have enough knowledge, and then you can start where you are. Don't be in a hurry. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. We need to continue to emphasize that. Don't see this as a quick and easy way to make money. Maybe it is, but then you should also understand that there is volatility. There's a lot of volatility. There's a lot of risks involved. And so you need to be very careful in how you get involved with it, who is getting you into this. You need to understand who they are, what is their pedigree and all of that. If an organization or a supposed organization is advertising something around this, you need to do your research. So you see, it keeps going back to the issue of knowledge. You need to know enough before you get into it.
Fantastic. Olumiwa, I just want to say thank you very much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you. All right. Thanks. Bye.
As you have heard from Olumiwa Dada, CEO, Cherry Brooks Media, digital assets are here to stay, and some Nigerians are leveraging it to chart a different path for their life. Now, the government, based on what he said, needs to rethink its strategy around digital asset restrictions or regulation. We've come to the end of the show, but it doesn't end here. The conversation continues online. Check out the show on Channels TV, YouTube, or cfablog.ng. For Tech Trends, I'm Chukwemeka Agbata.